Action.
Helbing, math, video, test review, over, go.
Recording in Studio 202. Thank you, 267 subscribers. We are going to be doing a quick review of our Unit 5 test. We're just going to go through each of the different types of problems and quickly review how to solve each of these types of equations, okay? Super excited. You guys excited?
Excited.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, America. Justin Bieber, are you paying attention?
Yes.
Let's go! Go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday.
You do have a lot of energy.
We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna sip coffee like it's your birthday. Okay. All right. So, problem number, do you guys have this up?
Yes.
Okay. So, the first problem asks for a solution for this equation. We have a square root on the left equals a number on the right. So to basically undo this square root, we're going to have to square both sides and then solve it just like we would a two-step equation from Algebra 1. Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 says how many solutions. It's not asking what the solutions are, it's asking how many solutions there are. So on this particular interval. So this is it's a one-step equation, but notice it's got a weird angle, this 3x. So what might you use when you have an odd angle besides x or theta? U substitution. Let u equal 3x. Solve the equation like you normally would, and then substitute the 3x back in at the end. Good? And then it's asking for the number of solutions. I would solve it just like we did in class. List out the solutions and then count how many solutions there are, and the number of solutions is your answer. Number 3. What value of x does not satisfy? This not should be capitalized so you can see it better. Does not satisfy this equation. So if this was, from Algebra 1, x squared plus x equals 0, you would solve that by factoring. You would factor out an x, and then you would use the zero product properties that each of those factors equal to 0, and solve. This is the same thing. Instead of x's, we have signs. We good? Number 4. What are the exact roots of this equation, okay, on this interval? So, Emily, this is what you were asking about with inverse trig. You're going to use the inverse trig to find the measure of the angles. You only need the ones on this interval from 0 to 2 pi. So where's the cosine negative? And also, quickly review rationalization. I'll leave out the negative. If you have 1 over root 2, if you multiply by special 1, you get root 2 over 2. And we know that's on the unit circle. Is everybody good? Number 5. So we would solve this just like we would trying to isolate our sign when we'd have a sine squared, where we have to take the square root of both sides. When you take the square root of both sides, what do you have to make sure you remember to do?
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus. Don't forget the plus or minus. Okay, so if these secants were x's, back from Algebra 2, x squared minus x equals 2, you would move the 2 over, and then you would factor. So that's what you want to start with here to solve. Questions on how to go about solving that? Yep.
What is that like x?
This is just another way. Thank you for saying that. Saying the interval from 0 to 2 pi. Okay? Okay, so number 7 is a problem you could do a few different ways. but most of the time when I solve these for you in class, I chose to use a Pythagorean identity and substitute in, probably for sine squared, 1 minus cosine squared. You don't have to do that, but that's just my first thought. How to go about solving this, it's probably what I'd do first. Because we've got nice angles, we don't have to use u substitution. And by the way, those 2's are kind of weird. It's sine squared of x, not a 2x. This is problem number 8. We have 7 tangent cubed x minus 21 tangent of x. So if these tangents were just x's back from algebra 1 or algebra 2, you would GCF out. You would look to see each of these terms has a 7 that you can pull out, and each of these terms has a tangent that you can pull out. So you would start by factoring. Good? I think I've kind of already been through this as well. I would probably start this one by dividing both sides by 2. When you divide a fraction by 2, 3/2 divided by 2, how would that look? 3/2 divided by 2. We don't divide by 2, a fraction. What do? Multiply by the reciprocal. So instead of dividing 3/2 by 2, we'd be multiplying by 1/2. I know you guys can't see that over there, but it says 3/2 times 1/2, so it'd be 3/4. Okay. And the last one, if you can just look at this instead of signs and look at them and think of them as x's back from algebra 2. If this said 2x squared minus 3x minus 2, and you would go ahead and factor it, you'd put your 2 parentheses, you would factor it into 2 binomials, and then set each of the 2 binomials equal to 0 separately. So you'd go about that. Any questions on how to solve any of those questions? All right. America, thanks for watching. Justin Bieber, still haven't got my tickets. I'm still waiting. So thanks for coming out.